Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I am Uzma Jafri. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Monday, the 4th of July. Bangladesh Prime Minister leads nation in paying tribute to Dhaka terror victims. First Indo-Nepal Eminent Persons Group meets in Kathmandu aimed at strengthening bilateral ties. And sweet delicacy being prepared in Western India to celebrate holy month of Ramadan. And now for all the details. Still reeling from the deadly terror attack in Dhaka in which 20 people were killed, a grieving Bangladesh on Monday paid tribute to the victims.
As Bangladesh observed the second day of mourning for the Dhaka terror victims, hundreds of people on Monday attended the memorial service for those who lost their lives in the Holy Artisan Cafe attack. Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina also took part in the proceedings and paid homage to the victims before meeting their families. The caskets were placed on a raised platform in an army stadium in the capital, which bore the flags of India, Italy, Bangladesh, Japan and the United States, commemorating the nationalities of the foreigners slaughtered during the 12-hour siege that ended on Saturday. Prime Minister Hasina also met the envoys of the four nations during the ceremony and expressed her condolences.
We have to teach in our school the good message of harmony, of cooperation, of love against hate. I feel so sorry also for the young people who did it. They were educated young men. We cannot allow this to happen again in our society.
Later in the day, the mortal remains of the 19-year-old Indian student who was killed in the attack was brought back to New Delhi for the last rites. On the fateful night of July 1st, 7 gunmen entered the Holy Artisan Cafe in the diplomatic area of Dhaka and began the carnage that lasted for 13 hours, killing 20 people, mostly foreigners. The Islamic State has claimed the responsibility of the attack. However, the government has denied the claim, stating that the gunmen were homegrown militants and belonged to banned outfit of Jamaat-ul-Mujahideen Bangladesh.
In the light of a recent terror attack in Dhaka, neighbouring India has scaled up security along Bangladesh border. In India's eastern West Bengal province, the paramilitary border security force has heightened vigil along Bangladesh border in Cooch Behar district. India shares over 2545 miles of its border with Bangladesh, the maximum being shared with its eastern province. The security has been heightened as Dhaka witnessed one of the deadliest attacks in the recent times. 7 gunmen on Friday entered the Holy Artisan Cafe in the diplomatic area of Dhaka and killed 20 people, mostly foreigners, in a 13-hour siege. Heavy rains continued in many parts of India, causing disruption to daily life of people. Water level of rivers has started rising as monsoon advances further across parts of the subcontinent.
Normal life was crippled in different parts of India as heavy rainfall resulted in severe waterlogging. The southwest monsoon has advanced further into parts of northern, northeastern and western provinces of the country. Heavy to extremely heavy rainfall has been recorded over Goa and South Gujarat on Monday. Residents of northeastern Guwahati city in Assam province had to trudge through heavily waterlogged roads after it poured for hours. As rainwater entered houses, people were forced to stay indoors. Traffic movement was disrupted. A similar scene was witnessed in western Maharashtra province. Relief and rescue operations are underway in India's northern Uttarakhand province, where dozens of people have been reported dead and many remain missing in the aftermath of flash floods triggered by a cloudburst.
Amid times when Pakistan has been repeatedly making claims of fighting terrorism, a video has gone viral on social media, which once again questions its rhetoric. In the video, a member of a banned terror outfit can be seen openly collecting funds for jihad or war. A report.
A video has taken the social media by storm, in which the members of the banned terror outfit Jaish-e-Mohammed or the JEM can be seen asking for donations for jihad, which means waging a war against India and Afghanistan in the name of Ramadan charities outside a mosque in Gulshan Iqbal area of Pakistan's southern city of Karachi. This development comes amid the background of Pakistan Rangers claiming to have carried out a major crackdown against extremism in the city. However, political party Muttahida Qawmi Movement or the MQM have accused the Rangers for illegally carrying out operations against political activists to show them in a bad light. The Karachi police have reportedly found many evidences that prove that some of the madrasas in Karachi are collecting funds to help terrorist organizations like Jaish-e-Mohammed. However, despite these evidence, both the Pakistan government and the Rangers have turned a blind eye to their untoward activities. Recently, the provincial government of Pakistan's northwestern Khyber Pakhtunkhwa allotted over $4 million to a madrasa known for having top Afghan Taliban leaders among its alumni, including former Taliban chief Mullah Omar, who received an honorary doctorate from the seminary.
Kashmiri leaders across the world have been protesting against the construction of China-Pakistan Economic Corridor or the CPEC. They allege that the multi-billion-dollar project is an attempt by China to stake a greater claim in the disputed territory of Gilgit-Baltistan.
A massive signature campaign has been launched across Europe against the construction of the much-publicized China-Pakistan Economic Corridor or CPEC. Critics of the project say that they want to create awareness among people across the world against the CPEC, which will only lead to deforestation and degradation of Gilgit-Baltistan region of Pakistan. Leading the campaign is a Kashmiri writer and human rights activist who has drawn widespread support from people in Brussels, Vienna, Paris and Geneva.
If China builds this economic corridor through Gilgit-Baltistan, it will only exacerbate the complexities of the Kashmir issue, and China will gain a considerable stake in the issue. The people in London have supported us tremendously. Many people have signed this campaign in support of it.
Activists claim that China will be the major beneficiary of the multi-billion-dollar project and no benefits are going to accrue to the local people.
And I strongly believe that this is a very valid cause which needs to be supported far and wide, because this is effectively a stealth attempt by Pakistan to take away the rights and resources of people of Gilgit-Baltistan. This should get more support and awareness among the masses.
People of the illegally occupied region have time and again raised their objections to the $46 billion project. But neither the local administration nor the Pakistan government has bothered to look into their concerns.
The first meeting of the Nepal-India Eminent Persons Group or the EPG was held in Nepal's capital city of Kathmandu on Monday. Both India and Nepal delegations, which includes eminent personalities of the two nations, will discuss various issues with an objective to strengthen relations during their two-day meet. The EPG will review the treaties and agreements signed between the two countries and will provide recommendations and amendments if required. The EPG was formed during Nepal Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli's visit to India in February. The group in 2 years' time will produce a joint report containing recommendations for both the governments on how to improve bilateral relations in the changed context.
The global order and situation, including of Nepal and India's standing in the world today, has become different in comparison to that of 1950s. We can't ignore the changing dynamics of relationship. The treaties, agreements and arrangements that guided our relations in the then context might require appropriate revision to deal with the needs of the present time.
The annual pilgrimage to the Himalayas was flagged in India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province. The pilgrimage leads devotees to the cave where they worship a symbol representing the regenerative powers of the Hindu Lord Shiva.
Thousands of Hindus set out on pilgrimage to the cave shrine of Amarnath in the snow-capped Himalayas. Millions of pilgrims undertake the journey or Amarnath Yatra every year to the shrine cave to worship an ice stalagmite called Shivling, a symbol of Lord Shiva, the Hindu god of destruction and regeneration.
हमें इतनी खुशी हो रही है देख के भी, इतनी पब्लिक, इतना प्यार, इतना भाईचारा भी। हम तो अखबारों में पढ़ते थे ऐसे है वैसे, पर हमें कुछ नहीं देखने को मिलता। बहुत खुशी बहुत हो रही है।
The 48-day pilgrimage is slated to conclude on August 18th. Teams of army and paramilitary forces have been deployed at various points along the pilgrimage route. Medical camps have also been set up to assist the devotees.
The holy month of Ramadan is a time when lavish meals and mouth-watering delicacies are specially prepared to break the day-long fast. A sweet delicacy is prepared from scratch by women in India's western Maharashtra province.
Women in Western India are undertaking the tedious task of preparing the popular Ramadan delicacy, vermicelli, at home. Vermicelli threads are used to prepare creamy desserts like sevaiyan and firni, which are consumed after a grand feast during iftar. It is prepared by grounding wheat into flour. The flour is then kneaded into dough, out of which vermicelli threads are carefully separated and dried.
ये सेवैयाँ यहाँ का स्पेशल आइटम है। यहाँ पर खुल्दाबाद से ये सेवैयाँ का ईजाद हुई और ये कम से कम 700-800 साल पुराना ये मामला है जो है। तो यहाँ पर 3 महीने पहले से इसकी तैयारी शुरू हो जाती है। गेहूँ लाना, उसको साफ़ सुथरा करना, उसको भिगाना, ये करना, उसके बाद में उसको कूटना, उसका आटा बनाना, उसको कूटना, ये इसके अंदर काफ़ी मेहनत है।
Ramadan is the 9th month of the Islamic calendar, during which Muslims start their day with sehri, a pre-dawn meal, and end it with iftar in the evening. The holy month ends with Eid al-Fitr, which falls on July 6th this year, though the date might change with the visibility of the moon.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude, the top stories once again. Bangladesh Prime Minister leads nation in paying tribute to Dhaka terror victims. First Indo-Nepal Eminent Persons Group meets in Kathmandu, aimed at strengthening bilateral ties. And sweet delicacy being prepared in Western India to celebrate holy month of Ramadan. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.